Hey everyone. So, I've been getting flooded with messages asking the same question. Can Social Security recipients actually get both the $1,200 increase and the $2,000 stimulus check at the same time? And the simple answer is yes. But let me explain exactly how this works because there's a lot of confusion out there, and I want to make sure you understand what's really happening with both of these proposals. If you're on Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, survivor's benefits, or spousal benefits, this video is for you. We're going to break down both of these payments, where they're coming from, and whether you can actually receive them together. For those of you who are new here, welcome to Retirees Benefits. My name is Lee Dudick, and I've spent years helping people navigate government benefits, stimulus programs, and Social Security. I make these videos because I'm tired of seeing people get their hopes up with clickbait headlines, only to be left confused and disappointed. I read every comment you leave, and I take your questions seriously, because I know these benefits aren't just numbers on a screen, they're your livelihood. Alright, let's start with the $1 and $200. This comes from something called the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Now, this isn't a brand new idea. This legislation was originally introduced early in 2025, and then it was reintroduced with co-sponsors at the very end of October 2025. Here's what it actually is. It's a temporary $200 per month raise for 6 months. That's it. $200 6 months equals $200 total. So when you hear one $200 increase, understand that it's not a lump sum payment. It would be $200 extra dollars added to your monthly Social Security check for 6 months straight, and then it would end. According to the legislation, they want this to go into effect right now at the beginning of 2026. So if you're receiving Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, survivor's benefits, or spousal benefits, you would see an extra $200 per month for 6 months. Now, here's something really important that I need to point out. This legislation says that this $200 per month would be paid out of the Social Security Trust Fund. And I've got to be honest with you, this concerns me. And I've talked about this in previous videos. Social Security doesn't have unlimited money just sitting around. We're already looking at insolvency in about 6 and 1-2 years, which would trigger an automatic 24% cut to everyone's benefits. If we pull tens of billions of dollars out of Social Security to fund this temporary increase, we're moving that insolvency date closer by a few months. Now, don't get me wrong, I think helping people with inflation is important, but maybe this should be paid for with general federal funds instead of risking Social Security's long-term stability. That's just my opinion, but I think it's something people need to understand. Now, let's talk about the $2,000 payment. This is what the president has been talking about, and you've probably heard it called a few different things: a stimulus check, a dividend, a distribution, or a rebate. They're all referring to the same thing. The president first mentioned this on November 9th, and he's brought it up multiple times since then over the last couple of months. The idea is that this would be a one-time payment of $2,000, though. Who knows? Maybe they could turn it into a monthly thing or something else down the road. Here's what makes this different from the $200 increase. The funding source, this $2,000 payment, would come from tariff revenues. Basically, money being brought into the country through tariffs. The idea is that it's a profit share, a way of distributing revenue from tariffs back to the American people. So, this wouldn't be paid out of Social Security. It would come from a completely different source, which is actually good news for Social Security's long-term health. Let me break down exactly who would get these payments, because I want everyone watching to know where they stand. For the $200 increase from the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, this would go to anyone receiving benefits administered by Social Security. That includes retirees on Social Security retirement benefits, people with disabilities on SSDI, low-income seniors and disabled individuals on SSI, widows and widowers on survivor's benefits, and spouses receiving spousal benefits for the $2,000 stimulus check. We're still waiting on the specific details, But based on what the president has said and how previous stimulus payments worked, this would likely go to a broader group of Americans, including Social Security recipients, but also working people, unemployed individuals, and others who meet whatever income requirements they set. The key thing to understand is that if you're on Social Security, SSDI, or SSI, you would likely qualify for both if both get passed. Okay, here's the answer to the question that brought most of you to this video. Can you get both the $1 and $200 and the $2,000 at the same time? The answer is yes. Technically, you could. Here's why. These are two completely separate things, funded by two completely different sources. The $200 increase would be paid out of Social Security as a $200 per month addition to your regular benefit for 6 months. The $2,000 stimulus would be paid out as a one-time payment from tariff revenues since they're coming from different places and they're structured differently. There's no reason you couldn't receive both. Now, here's where I need to be completely honest with you. Would it be weird if lawmakers passed both of these at the exact same time? Yeah, it would be pretty unusual. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I wouldn't count on them doing both simultaneously. They could do one or the other, they could do both, they could do neither. That's just the reality of politics right now. Let me give you the good news first. There is genuine momentum behind helping Social Security recipients. Multiple pieces of legislation are floating around in Congress right now to reform Social Security, raise benefits, adjust the COLA formula, and provide additional support. Many lawmakers from both parties are talking about the need to do something, especially with inflation hitting seniors and people with disabilities so hard. The administration is talking about the $2,000 distribution. The Emergency Inflation Relief Act has co-sponsors. People are paying attention. Now, for the reality check, as of right now, nothing has actually been passed. Talk is cheap. Until something gets through both the House and Senate and gets signed by the president, it's just a proposal. I've been covering Social Security and benefits for years now, and I've seen dozens of proposals that sounded great but never went anywhere. I'm not trying to be negative or burst anyone's bubble. I'm just trying to keep it real with you so you don't make financial decisions based on money that might never arrive. Here's an interesting question. If you could only pick one, which would you choose? The $200 spread over 6 months at $200 per month, or the $2,000 one-time payment? I think most people would choose the $2,000. It's a bigger amount. It comes all at once and it doesn't put Social Security spend at risk. But who knows? Maybe some people would prefer the $200 per month for 6 months for budgeting purposes, even though it randomly drops off after 6 months. The point is, we don't get to choose. It's up to Congress and the president to decide what, if anything, gets passed. Let me touch on something really important that I don't think gets talked about enough. Social Security needs reform. And I know that sounds scary. When people hear Social Security reform, they immediately think benefit cuts. And I get that fear. But here's the thing. If we get no reform to Social Security, we're locking in a guaranteed 24% cut to everyone's benefits in about 6 and 1 or 2 years when the trust fund runs out. That's not a maybe. That's automatic if nothing changes. So, yeah, we actually need reform. The question is, what kind of reform? There are over 500 people in the House and Senate, and somehow they can't come up with a plan that everyone agrees on to save this program from insolvency. Some of the reform proposals out there are honestly pretty scary. Others are actually pretty reasonable, but nobody knows which direction they're going to go. If you want me to do a whole video breaking down the different Social Security reform proposals out there, let me know in the comments below. There's a lot to unpack on that topic. Look, I'm going to keep watching everything very closely. Anything that happens to raise your benefits, reform Social Security, issue stimulus payments, distributions, dividends, whatever they want to call it, I will bring that information to you immediately. Right now, as of today, not a whole lot is actually happening as far as the distribution of extra money, bonus money, stimulus, or raises to your benefits. There's a lot of talking going on. The administration is talking, lawmakers are talking, but talk is cheap. What really counts as action? Will they actually do something, or will this just be more empty promises? That's what we're all waiting to find out. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the specific groups watching this video right now because I know who this affects most. If you're a senior living on a fixed Social Security income, and you've watched your grocery bills double while your benefits barely keep up, I see you. If you're a mom or dad on SSDI trying to raise kids on a disability check that hasn't kept pace with inflation, I hear you. If you're a veteran dealing with a disability and trying to make ends meet, you deserve better. If you're a widow or widower hour on survivor's benefits still grieving while worrying about money, you shouldn't have to choose between honoring your loved one's memory and paying your bills. Every single one of you deserves accurate information, dignity, and support. That's why I make these videos. So, to answer the original question one more time, yes, you could technically receive both the $200 increase and the $2,000 stimulus check at the same time if Congress passes both. They're funded differently. They're structured differently. And there's no rule saying you can't get both. But here's what I need you to remember. Until something is actually signed into law, it's just a proposal. Don't let anyone, including me, get your hopes up too high until there's a concrete payment with a confirmed date. I'm going to keep fighting for you by bringing accurate information, calling out misinformation, and making sure you understand what's really happening with your benefits. You're not alone in this. This community of hundreds of thousands of subscribers is here for you, and we're all navigating this together. If this video helped clear up the confusion, please hit that like button so more people can find it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. It's 100% free. Check out the video library with over hundreds videos covering everything related to benefits and financial assistance. And drop a comment letting me know which payment would you prefer if you had to choose the $1,200 over 6 months or the $2,000 all at once. Big things are happening every single day. More information is coming out constantly, and I'll keep you posted no matter what. Thank you so much for watching. Stay warm out there. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Talk soon.